All right, so welcome back to White House Farm. What we're working on today is a dump truck. I noticed that there was fluid leaking on the ground, and I was looking at that steering pump there. So when we get under here, we could see up there that it's leaking like crazy. And it looks like it's coming from the back side of it, and up top it's just starting to rust and fall apart. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the entire power steering pump. And got a new one right here. This came in. So this will be our new pump, and that'll look good too. That'll also match the rest of our engine. Even got a nice chrome pulley with it. So let's go ahead and start getting into this, and go ahead and take that power steering pump off. And we're probably going to replace the belts and everything while we have this off, just because they haven't been replaced in quite a while. They're still good, but I could use these as spares, throw some new ones on there. Alright, so let's go ahead and loosen this up, and that way we can get the belt off. And then we're actually going to take this whole bracket off, and then we're going to take this front bracket off as well, so we can pull this whole piece out. Alright, so to loosen that up, that's a 14 millimeter. Alright, so those three bolts holding the bracket are a 16 millimeter. Let's go ahead and take those off. Alright, let's go ahead and disconnect these lines right here. Alright, that sucker's on there pretty good. I have to pull that off, but let's get this off, because I could flex and move this with that on there. Alright. There we go. Now I can pull that right out of there. Alright, so we got that all off of there now. So this one looks like it had a couple spots where it was leaking. Up in here too. And this is probably original to the vehicle. So, alright. I'm not sure if we're going to need this bracket yet. It did come with its own brackets. We might need this. We'll see. Might need to pull this pulley off. Alright, so the new pump, they come like soaked in oil, so you have to like clean it off. It's pretty saturated with it. It's probably just to protect it, make sure it doesn't rust up on you before you get it in. Alright, so here's our new bracket kit. Not sure if this is gonna work or not. I might have to put the old bracket on and then just use the bolts and stuff from this to mount it. But let's find out. All right, so now we can take those 2 bolts off there. So looks like we're gonna need that nipple piece there to fit back on with the other hose, and this actually comes out, and hopefully put it in there or get a new one. All right, so not sure. I don't think that other pump's gonna be able to work just because the brackets and the way everything lines up. I really not too good at fabricating that part to get it to set where the old one was, or to make a new one. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to rebuild this power steering pump. If there is anyone out there, I know there's people out there that are really good at doing stuff like that. I'm not at that level yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and rebuild this pump here. And I just took off the cover here, and that basically just fits right in there. And I had to hammer on the sides of this to get that to come out. But here's the pump, and you can see this stuff here. That's all metal. I think that's a whole magnet right there. Yeah, that's a magnet. So you can see all the stuff on there. So this pump was going bad for a while. This looks like it's like discolored and stuff in there. I don't know, I've never rebuilt one of these before. I'm just gonna buy a whole new one of these to throw in, a whole new pump. I'm really not too sure on how to do this, but wanted to show you guys. That's the piece I need to replace. Those are the numbers I need right there. All right, so I got the 2 mounts out. I cleaned them up. I had them over here, this little diesel bath. Got all that years of caked up gunk off of them. Got them all cleaned up. And now we're gonna go ahead and paint them. So, all right, we're gonna do the primer, and then we'll do a nice red high heat. Okay, now that those are dry, let's go ahead and hit it with the red. Alright, so while the paint's drying, let's go ahead, and I bought 2 new serpentine belts. So while this is off, we might as well take that off. So I'm going to loosen up the alternator right now, get this other belt off, we'll get both them off. Alright, here's the new power steering pump belt. We'll go ahead and throw that on first. And we'll save these belts for spares. They're not too bad. Alright, so we got our nice bracket. We'll paint it up.
You don't take it off when you're on the deck. Because there's an adult up there to make sure you don't fall in. Even if Dad's down here, no one's up here. Okay?
Okay, we got the new bracket. Well, not new, but painted new bracket on. Alright, so this was the pump I was able to find. And that's the number. And it actually came really quick, which I was happy about. There are some differences. Okay, so compared to the old pump, we had the other flow valve down here right next to that. That's not a big deal, the hose can reach that, but everything else seems to line up okay. And this will fit in that bracket we got. It's flat, unlike the other one that had the big hump, and we'd have to cut the bracket or make a new bracket and then try and figure out what size belt. And so for the guys out there that do that, give me a shout, let me know how you do it, how you measure everything to figure out the belt size if you do put new bracketry on and everything. Because I would like to learn stuff like that. It's pretty interesting, like, and then I won't have to search for a pump like I did with this one, just because it's so old. They seemed hard to find. Napa didn't have them, Advance Auto didn't have them. They have the replacement pump itself, but not the cover, and I think it's the cover that was leaking on mine. But oh well, we got a whole new one here, so let's go ahead and put it in. All right. So the new pump, right where that hole is, where that goes, I gotta scoot it over just right next to that. There's just not enough room for some reason. Try it now. All right, so I was trying to get this thing Oh my God. I'm just tired and it's so hot out. I'm sweating. So it does fit. I didn't need to drill that hole. Oh, I was trying to get it to sit this way and I wasn't even thinking about having it go that way. I was trying to get it to go that way. But yeah, she fits great. Perfect fit. No need to drill. No need to do any of that. All right. All right, let's hook up our power steering line here. All right, I'm gonna have to get some longer hose to go ahead and reach the top of that. So we're gonna have to take that off the cooler up front. That's the line right there. Hooks right into the cooler. Alright, so I went and pulled that. We just gotta disconnect that line there and we'll get a longer, newer one. Alright, so we finally got the other belt and that's the number for it. So we go ahead and throw that on, then tighten our alternator up. Alright, after several different stores, finally got some power steering hose so I can replace that. So we'll go ahead and run it up through there and connect it on there and finally get it connected on the back there. Alright, so since that low pressure port there is a lot larger than the other one was 3/8 and I ran a 3/8 hose, but that's actually 1/2 inch. So I went to Lowe's and Snap and Advanced Auto didn't have it. I got a 1/2 inch by 3/8 inch barb and I just put it in there. I'm going to tighten that up on there and then put the other part in the 3/8. And then we should be able to finally connect this all together. All right, that is a low pressure line. So hopefully That barb will work to connect them because there's really no other way of doing it. My oil cooler line is 3/8, and that's the new pump. That back there is about 1/2 inch. So, all right. All right, got the new pulley in. There's the part number for it. Go ahead and take that out. You see, there's the old one. There's the new one. And these are press fit. You just gotta make sure you line up the keyways in here. All right, so that's on there. Now we can put our washer and our nut on there. So you need to turn this to get to the holes to make your adjustments for your belt. So you go ahead and tighten it up. So that's what you do. You turn this and until you get to the bolt, and then you can tighten them up. We're gonna go ahead and tighten everything up and get it in here. All right, so we're back. All set. No leaks. No whining noises. Turns fine. I think we're gonna be all set here. So, all right. So that's all in now. So once again, we hope you guys like, enjoy, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
You can't say goodbye without saying goodbye to me.
All right, Olaf. We'll see you on the next one. All right. Bye, Obo.
Hi, guys.